Hi, my name is Kylie Green, and I am a 16-year-old North Carolina 4-H member. I am the current South Central District 4-H president and a member of the 2025 National Champion Horse Bowl team. It is evident how much I value equine science. We live in a fickle world, where the only thing that we know for sure is that nothing is for sure. Science is the only exception. Science is fact, and science is the difference between life and death in some situations. Science is the nuance between saying that your horse is a blue roan or saying that your horse's genotype is dominant EE, recessive AA, dominant RN, recessive RN. When you're making an important decision, whether it's about your personal horse's health or a broodmare on your breeding farm, science is essential. Equine science encompasses a broad spectrum, and most average horse owners or riders don't plan on becoming the next equine geneticist. I do. However, it is paramount to try to understand and comprehend at least basic equine science. Basics that all equestrians should know include the route and how the digestive system works for colic, common and severe diseases such as influenza, strangles, tetanus, West Nile, or rabies, and, of course, basic anatomy. The average horseman does not need to know that the last 8 ribs on both sides are false, nor do they need to know that the last 18 vertebrae are scientifically called coccygeal, or even that the hip is an anarthrosis joint. But every horseman should know the common bones of the leg and the often injured tendons. Unfortunately, people often think that they can leave the science to their vet, yet that is not always the case. Being a knowledgeable horse owner can mean having the ability to detect issues earlier, like one experience of my friend Megan from last year's Horse Bowl team. Her horse developed a serious eye condition, and due to her previous knowledge in equine science, she was able to detect it earlier. Proceeding from the personal horse to the breeding aspect, knowledge of genetics is vital. Breeding horses while lacking knowledge is a road to disaster. Have you ever heard of the saying, line breeding is when it works, and breeding is when it doesn't? Certain breeds, bloodlines, and even coat colors have genetic diseases that they pass down to their offspring. Not knowing these genetics can propose potential to make substantial mistakes. Knowing these genetics can influence the broodmare you purchase or the stallion that you breed to. The anatomical side of science can help influence your decision of breeding horses with previous injuries. This could mean choosing if your mare with a previous leg break can handle the stress and weight of carrying a foaled term. The anatomical side of science can also help you know that your cow-hocked splayfoot horse most likely will not produce a halter champion, or that your horse with extreme knee action probably won't throw a hack winner. Science can also help with the future and prevention. It can help prevent further spread of diseases in quarter horses with the 7-panel test. This test tests for specific diseases within specific genes. It will let you know if your horse is a carrier, affected, or healthy. Besides anatomy and diseases, science is even important in the foaling process. Not knowing science could mean letting your foal die instead of performing the Madigan squeeze. Science is even important with things as simple as feeding your horse. It can tell you how much and what to feed your horse. However, it is very important to stay up to date with science. Well, I did say earlier that science is fact, and it is treated as fact. However, as new research comes out and new studies are conducted, we keep learning more. A prime example of this is with the 70-30 rule with feeding horses. This rule was that 30% of your horse's diet should consist of forage, 70% of your horse's diet should consist of forage, and 30% should consist of grain. What?